Hi, welcome to the fifth and final part of this course, How to Boost Your Creativity. I'm Ayla Esen. So our outline is very simple. In this part, we are going to discuss another creativity technique, which is Nesta Foundation's Fast Idea Generator. I would again like to remind you of this famous quote by Pablo Picasso. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. So actually, our minds are capable to come up with creative ideas. However, as we grow up, our families, the societal norms, the educational systems start limiting our mindsets. Therefore, we have more and more trouble being creative or coming up with creative ideas. But actually, creativity can be learned and can be taught. That's why it's important to go over the creativity techniques that we discussed in this course and spend 10 or 15 minutes for each of these techniques and see how you can apply them. All these techniques are like brain exercises for you and will help you to improve your creativity or your potential to come up with creative ideas. So let's move on to the Fast Idea Generator tool, which is developed by Nesta. It's a tool for generating new ideas by thinking differently. The tool is developed by the Innovation Foundation, Nesta, and you can have more information about this foundation on the web link that you can see on the slides. So this tool, the Fast Idea Generator tool, allows a team to generate ideas by looking at a problem or opportunity from a range of very different perspectives. So this tool is going to force you to go outside the box and to provide you new techniques and new perspectives of how we can actually solve a problem. So this is the tool that we have, the Fast Idea Generator tool. It's actually part of a toolkit which has been developed by Nesta. It's called the Do-It-Yourself Toolkit or the DIY Toolkit. And the link to this toolkit is provided on this slide. Please visit that toolkit and see what other tools you can have on becoming more creative and more innovative. So we have a list of approaches here, you see: inversion, integration, extension, differentiation, addition, subtraction, translation, grafting, and exaggeration. And you see small definitions of these different approaches. Now the toolkit tells us to fill out these two columns for each approach, considering your problem or the condition that you want to work on. So you write the normal rule, and then you try to bend, break, or stretch this normal rule through the approach that is given to you. In the inversion approach, what you need to do is to turn common practice upside down. So, for instance, the normal rule is that doctors treat patients, right? So now you have to turn this upside down. If the normal rule is that doctors treat patients, then how about patients treating doctors? Okay, so the bending, breaking, and stretching column should be the inverse version of the normal rule that you have. In that case, if you're trying to solve a problem faced by a hospital or faced by the health system, you can try this exercise. In the integration approach, you have to integrate the offer with other offers. For instance, let's say that you have a car sale company, okay, you are selling cars. So the normal rule is that the customer comes and buys a car. So what if you integrate your offer and say that I'm going to sell a car, and in addition to that, I'm going to provide you a 1-year extra service. Okay, so you integrate the offer. In the extension approach, you have to extend the offer. Like, for instance, you are providing education in a school. You can say, normally the school is during the day, but what if I can serve you extra courses in the weekends as well? Okay, so this is extending the offer. Differentiation approach tells you to segment your offer. So you divide your offer into different modules. Like, for instance, the normal rule for, let's say, in the airports or in the flight industry, the normal rule is that when you purchase a ticket for a flight, what you purchase is a seat on a flight, right? And maybe a meal during the flight, and your right to use the lavatories or have some water or have some drinks, okay? So now segment this offer into its parts: the seat, the meal, the using the toilet, okay? And try to price them all. This is what the low-cost airlines are doing, right? You have to pay for selecting a seat, you have to pay extra for a meal, so these are not included in the ticket. And you may even, some airline companies were even thinking of making the toilets paid, right? The next approach that we're going to discuss is the addition approach. So you try to add a new element to the value that you offer. What can it be? It can be that when you're, for instance, purchasing a flight ticket, in addition to that, they may offer you a hotel room in the destination point. So this is the addition approach. In the subtraction approach, you take something away. Like, for instance, I'm teaching in a classroom. What if there is no classroom? What if I take out the classroom? Then I can come up with the online teaching idea. In the translation approach, you translate a practice associated with another field, okay? So, for instance, you're managing a hotel. What if I managed a hotel just like I'm managing an airport? So how can I translate my hotel management practice into airport management practice? So you can force your minds to come up with ideas looking at that. In the grafting approach, you have to graft on an element of practice from another field. And in the exaggeration approach, you exaggerate by definition. You push something into its most extreme expression. Now, in the next slide, I have an example which has been presented by Nesta Foundation. So this example is an exercise on how to solve the problem of equal opportunity for education, equal education opportunity for all in India. So in rural areas, in villages, in small villages, children were unable to access education opportunities. So that's why they used this toolkit to come up with innovative ideas on how to bring education to rural areas of India, to small villages of India. So in the inversion technique, the normal rule is that children learn in classroom. How do you bend this rule? Classroom can be taken to children. So if they cannot go to the central schools, then you may think of opening small school branches or maybe small classrooms in villages. So you take the classroom to children. using the integration approach, the normal rule is that teacher is and carer are two separate things, but if you integrate them, the teacher and carer can be together, so the teacher can also take care of the school and other routines or operations in the school. So one person can be enough in that small school branches. In the extension approach, parents bring children to school, but what if you bend this normal rule? Teaching can be offered to parents too, then, right? In the differentiation approach, children are taught in one large group, but what if you divide children? Then maybe it's going to be easy for you. In the addition approach, the normal rule for the school example is that there's a central school for all villages. However, when you bend, break, or stretch this rule, you can come up with the idea local preschool lessons also provided in villages. So you add a new service. In the subtraction approach, teachers require formal qualification as a normal rule. But what if you subtract that and say that no formal qualification is needed? Then it's going to be easier to find teachers. In the translation approach, teaching and marketing are different practices by the normal rule. But when you bend this rule, you can come up with the idea marketing can be part of the teacher training as well. So they can do marketing too. In the grafting approach, the normal rule is defined as teachers trained by central admin team, and when it's grafted into a different practice, then you can come up with the idea of teachers can be recruited by peers. So you don't need a central admin to recruit your teachers. Other teachers can make the interviews and can look for potential candidates. And using the exaggeration approach, teaching centers are, as a normal rule, at designated places, but when you exaggerate the rule, you can say learning can happen anywhere at any time. So you can come up with a creative idea looking at these bended, broken, or stretched rules. This is a good brain exercise to force yourself to become more creative and to generate more creative ideas. So this was the end of our course. I would like to thank you all for participating, and I hope that these creativity techniques will be useful for you in improving your new idea generation skills.